Good morning. Welcome to the well. Happy New Year still. Happy January 8th. Okay, well, let's take a moment to settle in and take a moment to anchor in gratitude as we always do. It's so important to anchor into what we're grateful for as a practice for shifting our vibration. Just take a moment now and do that. And just think about your whole life. And just what is one thing, two things, or do a gratitude download. And then let's open up into the reading for today from a place of gratitude and openness. Yeah.
Right, here we are.
Here we are.
We're starting off with an awareness of blockages or inflexibility in our lives. And the card here is called "All the Threads of Fate Must Bend." And it's talking about, meeting change with flexibility, releasing any rigidity you have around how this should be or how this person should behave, or expectations that you might have, and instead create a question, create a space of curiosity. What might I discover here, right? If I relax into this interruption or this blockage and allow it to be there, what could come of it? Instead of no, it's keeping me from my goal, no, right? Say yes and allow it to be there, and find a way to move with the energy. It helps to remember that you don't have the whole story, right? At any point, we start to discover something and we realize there's a lot more under the surface. There's a lot more there. We get in a conflict with another person and thinking that, we're arguing with that person in this moment over this one thing, but there's so much more underneath for both of us, right?
Absolutely.
There's so much more that brought us to that moment. So always having that perspective that we don't know it all in this moment. And even though we had something in mind, we had an idea of how we wanted things to go, they may not, the universe might not show up in that way. And that is a sign for you to redirect and to start asking questions instead of getting frustrated and plowing through, right? And then this is interesting, that takes a shift, and it's calling on us to take the attention off of ourselves. I got this as the cow, the sign of Taurus, and it says provide. As we know, in a lot of cultures, the cow is a source of, it provides
milk
and cattle in general, right? Milk and
and they're key in regenerating the land. The role of cows.
Regenerate. They're a big important part of the ecosystem. And in some countries, we know the cow is revered and not eaten, and not so the cow is energetically appearing here in this reading to remind us to be of service and take the attention off of yourself and what you're not getting and how you're not progressing, and ignore it for a minute and be of service somewhere else, to a cause that you love, to another person who needs assistance.
What you care about.
Volunteering somewhere, but shift that focus off yourself. That will always, always, always bring you into a space of gratitude, and then also get the wheels moving again in your own energy. Then I got whale. This is breach. This is, overcoming barriers, perceived barriers, right? And changing your perspective, change of scenery, right? Which will in turn change your energy. And that kind of goes along with the provide card. Take the attention off of you and shift that so that you're able to feel movement again, right? Even though it's not in this one subject that you want movement in, there's still movement, right? And that it will eventually come around. And then I got moment to moment, and this is a reminder to, stay present, know that the support is there, right? Remember the man walking on the river, he's on the boulder, he has the support he needs in this moment, and there is more support to come down the road. He just needs to relax into this moment so that he knows what timing to follow, when it's time to take that next step and move on to the next source of support.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got generosity.
Mm-hmm.
I am abundant love. This is a continuation of that provide card and the shifting the energy into giving. And this is specifically calling upon you to put the energy of love out there for everyone. You have enough, right? It's saying you have an unlimited amount of love that you can, you know, promote into the universe so that it keeps things flowing in that way and it keeps your connection strong.
Mm-hmm.
And this is especially for situations of negativity, right?
Yeah.
You counter it with the energy of love and you'll find the flow. Speaking of flow, I got movement. this is now you're in a place where you can feel it, because
Mm-hmm.
I had this thing I was stuck on. I realized that I need to wait it out or allow more pieces to fall into place before I proceed. So I'm going to take my attention elsewhere and give the love, give the support to others. That creates that movement we were talking about, that flow. And then the final card in this spread is rebirth. Now you're beginning the next phase. Now you get to start again with a different perspective, because you let this frustration lie and sort of dissipate. And now you have a new, a gratitude filled perspective as well. And you get to start again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Letting the frustration, the stuckness, the resistance, whatever that was, just letting it clear and then rebirthing from nothing, from a clear space.
It sounds easier than I mean, it's, of course it makes sense, but it isn't always easy when we have our mental, the chatter that goes on, or the, the worry and, but I'm not getting there, but I'm not finding the solution, right? That it's a little harder to quiet that, but this is just sort of a general primer into how that path could go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we all don't have the mastery over our mental chatter, which is human and normal. And but calling attention to it and knowing, okay, those
Thoughts.
voices in my mind or those stories in my mind are just stories. They're not reality. This is reality here. So
Their
yeah.
interpretations.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that moment to moment card is also about what to do in those moments when that is happening internally, when there's distress or that feeling of I can't get those thoughts out of my head. Just come into the moment and just be in the moment and let the feelings flow. And remember, okay, these are interpretations, like just be in the moment with that experience as well. It's like a guide for how to deal with getting through a breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Which
always
happen all the time.
we're always being reminded to pull in and pause. And it's
Be
a
in the
big
moment.
theme in a lot of my readings, but it is it's the primary factor of self-care.
It's critical.
Yeah.
So let's all be with the reading. Take a moment, go inside, and just let yourself breathe and land. And just see what's there, discover what's there for you from today's reading, from this week's reading. And just discover what your intention is for this week. And let it rise from inside of you, up into your heart space. Find a word to focus in on. And maybe you can use the phrase, I am a person who, or I'm a person that. For example, mine is this week, I'm a person who can go through the ups and downs and all arounds of changes with grace and ease. So, offering our intentions up to the Bloom altar for divine support. Thank you. All right, let's kind of move to the the response really to the intentions. That's really why we do the two sections, right? It's like the sort of initial reading and then the response to it, and the intentions kind of bloom up in the middle of it. So it just came to me. Yeah.
And sometimes it's a further clarification so that we can really
Mhm.
ground ourselves in the process too.
Yeah, I
Yeah, you
love
never
that.
know what's going to come up in those spreads.
Yeah, I love that.
I love it too. Okay, and then so the beginning of our next phase 2 here is I got uncertainty. Let me deeply trust. This is a continuation of where we were with the I'm not getting there, I'm not making progress. And this asks us to live in the now and relax into the unfolding, which we talk about all the time. And it's finding that sense of trust that all the components and all the pieces you need to fall into place in order to make progress are waiting, and they will align in the moments they're meant to. And instead of, I heard a story today about it was on Instagram, and it's really cool. This is a 6th grade teacher who tells stories, but he talked about coming upon a wood carver.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this little piece of wood and a knife, and he was just sitting there whittling away, talking to him. And he said, "What are you making?" And he goes, "I'm not sure yet. I'm going to see where it leads me." Oh,
Nice.
that so much, because we're doing that with our lives, right? We're carving out the little facets and the aspects of our lives and creating our lives sight unseen, right?
Yes.
It's beautiful. And then we got ocean, ebb and flow. This is a reminder that it is, the rise and the fall, the peaks and the valleys, the ebb and the flow is ongoing. And here we are thinking, I'm just going to stand right here and control everything. Well, there's,
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of
Good luck
not a
with
lot of
that.
hope there. Good luck with that. No, but this is just a reminder for us to try to move with the energy that is being provided. And sometimes that energy is don't, stop, pause. Sometimes the energy is, oh, I got to go through this grief, right? I have to go through this hard time in order to move. But all of those are, and sometimes it's really high and you're riding out a great wave. But all of that is, all of those components make up living. That's what living is, right? Is to be in all of it. I pulled welcoming surrender.
Mm-hmm.
And this one says on the back, there is no problem, only destiny being revealed. I love that. That's like the wood carver. It's like you're just finding it as it comes. You're discovering it along with, everyone else. And it's wonderful. And then I got adaptation. This is the octopus reminding us to, you know, if we have to adapt and align with something that we didn't really preconceive before, it's okay, because that's where the movement is. And so keep that going, right? As long as you remain grounded as you're moving with the love that this came up, because with all this movement, ebb and flow, bending with the threads of fate, finding a way, if you're not grounded through all that, then good luck again, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that change card. Remember, we talk about the wheel and you grab onto the outside, you're going to go off.
Exactly.
But this is an important reminder to stay rooted in your own energy and to periodically pull off the freeway, if you would, and realign and regain your own composure as you move into the chaos again. And then I got experiencing, which is another tree sort of analogy there. And this is just reminding us to be in this present moment at all times and enjoy and enmesh yourself in what's present. Instead of just walking by that tree and passing it and thinking, oh, it's pretty, she is with the tree. She's almost becoming one with it. And that is, that's another moment to moment vibe right there. That's just being right here. And then I love this because this came up after all this flowing, ebb and flow. I got to go with the energy and, I will try to stay grounded, but then you get to see a clearing. You get to, start to see your goal or come to an understanding with another if your initial frustration was a conflict. And then we realized that those bars, those barriers that kept us separate were an illusion all along. If you see they're faded here at the top and there's an opening there, And it's like, there really isn't anything separating me from what I want. It's just a matter of allowing for the timing and the direction that the universe is providing me to get there. And I love this because this is that moment of clarity that, oh, okay, I might actually achieve this.
Yeah.
And then the last card is completion, which is awesome. The first spread ended in rebirth, and starting that next phase and moving through, and then we end with completion, which is wonderful. It's a matter of and this whole flow could be something tangible in your life, and it could also be something within that you're working on some kinks within you, trying to come to another level of understanding and self-awareness. So it can always apply to yourself at all times. It doesn't always have to be about someone else.
Yeah, always about cultivating awareness.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, beautiful. So whatever is discovered from this reading this week, we would love to hear. So please feel free to register what you get from the reading in the comments section, or whatever you'd like to create for your intention as well. You can log as well. So have a wonderful week, everyone, and thank you.